There's teachers are pissed.
It's another week.
I know. I'm not prepared.
I feel very unprepared.
I'm not prepared today.
Because it feels like everything that happened this weekend just was about TikTok.
Yeah, and
You know what I mean?
I had other stuff going on, and I'm just unprepared today.
Hi.
Hi, everybody.
Morning.
Hi.
What's up? What's going on?
And I need coffee.
Did you watch that video? The thing?
The sex thing?
Yes.
No.
Oh my
I
God!
didn't watch it.
That is the one thing I asked you to do.
I'm sorry. I always have kids in the room.
Yeah, you
There's
can't have kids in the room.
I'm not gonna.
Oh
I'm
my
not gonna
God.
risk that. She's always around on the weekends, which I don't. You know.
You could just watch on your phone. You know what I mean?
I guess
I'll show you. I will show you.
That's true. We can watch it. Here's the bad thing.
We need to tell them what.
Here's the bad thing. I could watch it at work,
I know.
and I can't watch it at home.
You guys,
This is when it's bad.
let me just back up because you're like, what the hell are you talking about? So, remember how
she texts me, and she's like, "Oh my gosh!"
Because remember, like a few weeks ago, I was freaking out about 365 DNI.
Yeah.
That Netflix show, because I was like, I can't believe that they have legit softcore
porn.
And
It's
you
porn,
know,
you
I
guys.
wasn't upset about it because the people were so hot.
I know, right?
And then I made her watch it. I made Rob watch it. You guys,
Everybody watched it all of us watched it at work.
But the question still remained: were they actually having
The relations.
relations?
Of a
And I
sexual
think
nature.
we decided
No.
that
We
mostly
decided
no.
no. We decided no for
Right.
365 DNI.
But then
Uh-huh.
on Netflix, and I think today is the last day that it's going to be on. So if you want to see what we're talking about,
Why is today the last day it's going to be
you know
on?
how they just recycle everything. They just get rid of things. They have new things.
Really?
Yeah. So this is apparently going to be the last day, and it may already be gone. I don't know. You'll have to check. But it's called Love. And it's a French, apparently. This is what I've read about it because I
They're
could
always
not believe what I've
French
seen.
or Polish.
Right?
What is that?
The Europeans, man, they're very free with their sexuality. So it's a French cult film from like 2015. Don't know any of the actors, only come to find out the male lead is a guy that's married to Zoe Kravitz.
Like still married to her.
Like just got married last year.
Oh.
They're newlyweds.
Maybe she saw the film and she was like, "Rrrr."
Well, I mean, I guess that.
Maybe.
Maybe. Anyway, I've never heard of the guy. I don't know any of the actresses. They're all not very attractive people, frankly. And so that made it less fun to watch. But the reason that I saw it, you guys, is because I kept seeing everywhere people like doing these little videos on social media saying, I videotape myself watching the opening scene of Love. And then everybody that makes these little videos is like, just like their eyes bug out, right? So I was like, what is the opening scene
So she's like,
of
I
this
have
movie?
to
I
watch
have to
it.
see
You have
it.
to watch it now.
I have to
watch it.
know what that is.
Yeah, and then she told me what the opening scene was, and I was like, I cannot watch this anywhere.
You can have any kids
in my house.
Nowhere.
On the weekend.
They got to be in a different time zone.
Yeah, because my daughter's not in a different time zone in my house on the weekends, so I couldn't watch it in my house this weekend.
So she asked me over text. She was like, "Oh, I need to have my daughter away. Is it really loud?" And I was like, "No,
It's not loud.
Silent. In fact, it's utterly silent. It's just the visual is of." I can't even tell you guys what it is. You guys,
I don't think you should start telling people because there may be kids around there.
Yeah. You just need to see it for yourself if it's still available on Netflix. You don't need to watch the movie. I did that for you. It is worse than 365 DNI. It's the worst movie I've ever seen.
You watched the whole
ever.
thing?
I fast forwarded a lot because I was just like, this is so dumb. So anyway, lots and lots of sex in it. But the opening scene is so pointless and gratuitous and real. Like, that's the thing, you guys. It's on Netflix. Your kids can turn it on super easy, and it's actual X-rated stuff this is real.
And that's what bothers me. It's on Netflix.
It's real.
And it's right at the beginning. That scene is right at the beginning. So your kids could have watched it already.
They're gonna be like, "Oh, Love, what's that about?" Opening scene is hardcore. Like it is. Mm-hmm. And you guys, there's no question about the realness of it. Like, it's legit. You see all of it. You see everything. You see every last thing.
Yeah. Reggie wants you to get to the point.
That's the point, is that I wanted her to see it because I could not believe it. Yeah. And then I had this whole thing where, like, what's the difference between an NC-17 and an X rated movie, which
Well,
I looked up, and apparently there's no difference.
I don't think there is a difference.
NC-17 replaced X because the porn industry apparently like has a trademark on that. So the like regular movie rating people had to like come up with a new rating, but it really means the same thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, you have today to watch it. I think it may already be gone.
Yeah.
Wow. So I need you to watch it so you can freak out with me.
Is it Kira?
Kira?
She says after 365 she put parental controls on. You can put parental controls on
Netflix?
On Netflix.
Oh, you can?
I guess. I think it's what she's saying.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, that's good to know.
Yeah. If you can, then do it.
Yeah, because
do it immediately.
I mean, seriously.
Yeah.
Because if this is the kind of stuff that they just have out there on the Netflix willy-nilly, just out there, then
that's bad.
I mean, you got no chance to just see what it's about, because what it's about is in your face right at the beginning.
It's in your face. It's
Wow.
a dude's you know what in your face.
Oh, I mean, right there.
Right there in your face.
Right there.
Right all up in your face, and also in somebody else's face. Right there. That's what's happening.
It's right there. Okay, so the big news of the weekend is TikTok.
TikTok
is
TikTok,
there was like,
you don't stop.
Friday. So Friday the news was that Trump was threatening to ban it as soon as Saturday. Saturday comes and there's like all this talk about him maybe writing an executive order that says TikTok is banned henceforth and forthwith and forevermore. And then Sunday, yesterday, the word was that the Chinese company that owns TikTok, which is something called ByteDance, now they are negotiating, and Trump is allowing a negotiation between ByteDance and Microsoft.
Which means that Bill Gates will just own all your stuff.
Right. So Bill Gates didn't feel like he already owned enough of our information, so now
he's going to own all of it.
Will likely take over the U.S. operations of TikTok and make it like not Chinese
I don't know if
anymore.
I feel any better about that. I don't know how much better I feel, but I mean, just knowing that he's American, but it's just Bill Gates is going to own all of your stuff. How much better do we feel?
Yeah, I don't know how to feel about it either.
Yeah, that's not.
And Trump is giving them 45 days to iron out some sort of a deal. So whether or not it's even whether that happens, I don't know. But all of the teeny boppers on TikTok who are like releasing crying videos saying, "Oh yeah, TikTok is going to be banned. Follow me here, follow me there." They've got 45 days to chill out and keep making their dances. So.
And keep making, like, one of the girls makes $100,000 a post if she does like an endorsement post. One of these chicks, one of these teenagers, $100,000 a post. Good Lord,
I've never heard of her.
Remember when we were just teenagers?
Yeah, and like you had hobbies and you like spent a lot of time outside.
Yeah, you remember that?
Remember?
You like hung out with your friends. You remember?
Good times.
Wow, I mean the 80s, man. It was just totally different.
Yeah.
And I wasn't like an influencer. Yeah, and the only influencing that you did is like when you walked up to the front of the classroom in your new outfit and you sharpened your pencil. That's like look at me, I'm influencing. That's it. That's like the only... Anyway. All right, so the Boston bomber, I was so pissed off about this.
Yeah.
That,
the death penalty was vacated.
The Joker, that kid, they're not gonna...
The cover boy for the Rolling Stone. Remember?
That piece of crap, that piece of garbage that was sentenced, and he's supposed to die because he killed a bunch of people.
Yeah.
And like, took limbs off of people. And he admitted to doing it. And then he didn't have any remorse for it. And now they're like, no, we're not going to kill him.
Yeah, so an appeals court threw out the death penalty saying, well, I mean, the judge really didn't screen the jurors properly.
Oh my God.
So now they're going to have to retry sort of that sentencing portion of the case, which could potentially mean that the people who suffered, who had to be witnesses, who had to testify about all this, are going to be brought back to relive the entire thing, which is not fair to them, but they may have to do that just to get through this whole process again. Now, I mean, he is going to rot in jail regardless, but I mean, there's a lot of people, a lot of victims of this that are like, kill the guy. Kill him. He doesn't deserve to exist.
I don't understand why this guy's even still alive. This is I guess I'm mad at our justice system. This is why. I mean, he obviously he did it. It's like he has no remorse for it. Just put him down. God, what a waste of time and resources and money. And these people have suffered enough.
Yeah.
Just put him down. The guy's an animal.
Trump is really mad about it. He's been tweeting about it too.
I mean, I get it. It's just, this is what's so gross. I don't, oh, these poor people. These poor people. And you know, us as Americans, we see this and we're like, seriously? Can we not do this right? Can we just do this one thing right? In 2020, can we do this right?
Yeah.
This would be a great thing for us to do right. Anyway. All right. And
Also,
all the Ghislaine documents.
It's Ghislaine.
Ghislaine.
So people have been obviously reading all the things that have come out about that. There could be more coming too, like, because I know that there's video and photographs and stuff that they're still trying to iron out if they're going to release or not. But there's, a lot of it's about Bill Clinton and what a complete skis he is. And of course, he's still denying it, ever being even on the island,
that guy.
Which is so pointless at this point.
I did not have sex with that woman.
I mean, you're going to say that you weren't on an island that you were on, clearly. There's a number of witnesses that saw you on the island. Come on.
And there were flight logs.
I mean, seriously.
You went. You went and you did the things. Just cop up to it. Like,
For real.
You went. Just stop lying. We all know that you're already a liar. I mean, you lied about other things. So you know the guy's a liar. He's lying about this.
And it does make you wonder because, one of the big sort of nuggets that came out is that from Virginia Roberts or Virginia Joffrey or however you say her name, when she saw Bill Clinton there, she asked Jeffrey Epstein, Bill Clinton is on your island. And Jeffrey Epstein said, well, he owes me a favor. And so you have to wonder, well, what was all of that about, right? Like, what was the favor? Because that's sketch on its own, right? Mm-hmm. So Clinton is denying it still, even though there was an eyewitness, like caretaker, worker on the island that he was in that Netflix documentary.
Yeah.
That said he saw him there. Now, he didn't see him doing anything gross, but he saw him with Jeffrey Epstein, like having a meal and being there. Like, he was there. So there's no question about that.
And then Virginia's saying that she saw him walking off with two girls.
Young girls.
Yeah, young girls.
Yeah.
And I'm like somebody said somewhere in this document, I think it was in this documentation, or no, it wasn't here. I read it someplace else, and this is so true. So many times we hear people and we see people saying that the phrase underage women or whatever, these are children. Like when you see 14, 15-year-old girls, they're children. He's going off with children. That makes him a pedophile. That's what that makes him.
She's breaking it down.
I mean, that's what it is.
Right.
It's like, so when I see underage women, it's not underage women.
Who's writing it like that?
That a lot of like people
That's
will write,
disgusting.
people will say underage. They'll say underage. They're
kids.
They're children. These women were not women. They were children. And so if he in fact went off with, they're girls. People need to understand and get through their heads that they were not grown women. They were girls. They were girls. They were children. If it were my daughter and she was 14, 15, 16 years old, she's still a child at that age. Virginia was a child at 15. I mean, they clearly preyed on children. And everybody needs to understand that these were children that they were doing this to. These were not women. And so these people are sick and twisted, and Bill Clinton included. If he were at that island, I believe he was there.
Oh my God, there's no question.
The guy is a sicko, and he needs to be handled. So I hope that somebody needs to handle that. And the way that our judicial system works, obviously with the Boston bomber, we don't have a very good track record. I hope somebody does a better job with all of this Epstein stuff, because
There's also evidence, too, in this document dump that, like, Ghislaine totally lied about whether or not she was in contact with Jeffrey Epstein at certain times. He wrote her, like, he drafted statements for her to release about her non-involvement with any of his stuff. Like, she is so sketch, and the fact that she even asked for bail is totally ridiculous. Like, even when she was asking for bail, she said, but I hadn't spoken to him in over a decade. Well, here are a bunch of emails from the two of you that you exchanged within the last couple of years. So you're a
Yeah.
big fat liar and you don't get your bail. Have fun sitting in your jail cell. Which, by the way, speaking of have fun, sitting in your, yes, Virginia was like having like the time of her life at some pool in Australia, just totally chilling, beautiful hat and sunglasses. And she takes a selfie and she's like, hey, Ghislaine, how you liking your scenery now?
I mean, it was really, she totally did troll her.
She's totally I mean, not that Ghislaine can see it, but
Yeah,
still.
I mean, she's, yeah, it was pretty funny.
So that's happening, and you said something was happening about teachers.
Oh, I think it's like today, I heard today is like, I can't keep track of all these resistance days. Because I feel like every day is Resistance Day now. Everybody's resisting against everything. But today is another Resistance Day. I don't know what the actual name of it is, but I heard it's a Resistance Day for teachers.
I had not heard that, so I am unaware of. Are teachers resisting today? I mean, they're not even in the schools. So
Yeah,
like, what is your
they're
problem?
resisting. They're sending all sorts of like obituaries out, and in all different states, teachers are doing their resisting thing, and they're using children as props, basically, to not have to go back to school.
Oh my God!
They're talking about children dying. They're talking about themselves dying. Because of COVID. So.
Speaking of COVID, yeah, we what we need to talk about is this whole John Lewis, Washington, D.C. bull crap. Did you guys see this? Yeah.
Attention, the bullshit meter has detected major BS.
Major.
We've detected it.
Major.
We're detecting it.
So, Georgia, one of the high-risk states, right? And like Washington, D.C. has this rule that if you travel to a high-risk state, which Georgia is, then you have to come, when you come back, you got to self-quarantine for 14 days. That's the rule for people. But the DC mayor has decided that any of the politicians who went to the John Lewis funeral in Georgia, and then returned, they don't have to quarantine. You know why? Because they're Congress people. They are apparently protected by some sort of invisible force field.
It's a Congress force field.
It's a special Congress force field that gives them immunity. It's like an immunity cloak, right? So they don't have to be quarantined.
That's right.
Because this rule is bull crap.
I feel like though, being in Congress, that makes you dirtier. Like that makes you more susceptible to germs.
I think you're
and to
absolutely
viruses.
right.
Don't y'all think? I feel like that makes you grosser.
If you don't see how much bullcrap all of these restrictions are, you don't need to look any further. They don't believe it, you guys. They don't believe in their own rules. They just want control over people. Yeah, that's all this is.
All about control.
I couldn't believe it, and they're openly admitting it. Like the DC mayor was asked directly. Their spokesperson was asked directly. Wait a minute, so the politicians get to go to John Lewis's funeral because you're considering it an essential government function. But if, like, I don't know, somebody else goes to their parents' funeral in Georgia, they have to quarantine? Yes. The answer to that question was yes. Just outright. They just openly admit that this rule means nothing. It is utterly and totally about control.
I mean, this is the thing. Y'all, we have to start speaking out against this bull crap.
Right?
We have to. The fact that we're just sitting back letting it happen is just a bunch of nonsense. You have to start saying stuff. You have to start speaking out. You have to start fighting back against this crap.
Because if not now,
when?
When?
I mean, when they start making us wear body condoms? Because I'm not doing that.
I'm not doing that
I'm
either.
not wearing a body condom.
I'm not wearing goggles. I'm not wearing a face shield.
No.
Unless somehow that becomes more comfortable than a mask.
And I'm sorry. Listen, I love you teachers. And I have a bunch of teachers in my family. Most of my mom's side of the family and my dad's side of the family are teachers. I come from a long line of teachers. I taught at the college level before I became a chick. I believe in education. I love education. I love educators. And there are a lot of great ones in my family. But if you're out there and you're using kids as shields to not go back to work, I got a problem with you. I had a huge problem with you. Don't do that. Good teachers don't do that. They're not doing that right now. Because what they're doing and all their demands, like a lot of these teachers right now are shoving a lot of union demands in there.
Oh my God, the unions are the worst.
Yeah, they're doing a lot of demands that have to do with like cops and all this other bull crap that have nothing to do with kids and nothing to do with COVID. You know, that's what they're doing. They're shoving all this liberal garbage in there. That's what they're doing.
Which makes me love the teachers that are anxious to go back and who want to go back. even more.
And there are plenty of them.
Oh,
There are
yeah.
a lot of teachers that want to go back, and they know that a lot of this stuff is nonsense, and they get it. They totally get it. And so I feel bad for them because these other yahoos are making them look bad.
Exactly.
You know, they're
That's
making
exactly
them look
right.
bad. But the ones that don't want to go back, fine, don't go back. Don't expect us to pay you.
Exactly.
You know, because I mean,
Exactly.
we've been going to work every day for 4 months. There are a lot of people that have been going to work every day for 4 months. So if you don't want to go back to work, don't go back to work. Let somebody else have your job. I'm sure there are plenty of other people that would love to have it. You know?
Yeah.
Anyway.
So it's all bullcrap. I mean, all of the restrictions at this point, as soon as I saw that they were so blatantly, openly okay with admitting that what the rules that they're setting for everybody else just simply don't apply to the elites. How does anybody tolerate it? How does anybody even on the left think, yeah, that makes sense. Congress should be exempt from all these quarantine restrictions because they're special. Who wants to think that? Like who openly is okay with saying, oh yeah, people who went to John Lewis's funeral, that was totally essential.
Yeah.
But like you suffer the loss of someone in your family and you have to attend a funeral in a high risk state, you don't get an exemption because you're not important. That is literally what they are telling you.
Yeah, I
And
know.
leftists are still going to be like, yeah, I should vote for that
Because
person.
I'm not important.
Why do you want to think
I'm
that?
not important at all. No, they're so much better than me. I love Obama. He was,
I mean, this is what they are
he
like.
totally unified us. Look how unified we are.
Oh my God. I just can't.
Yeah.
Cannot.
Uh-huh.
And here's another story. Did you guys see those pro-lifers who wanted to chalk? They were using chalk on sidewalks in front of a Planned Parenthood that said pre-born Black Lives Matter. This in chalk. They wanted to, on a public sidewalk, they wanted to write that. They got freaking arrested for that. So people
I couldn't
that
believe
loot-
this. I didn't think this was true when I first read it.
It's
I
completely
was like,
true.
I had to reread it like 14 times. I was
Completely
like,
true. Where was
I
it?
could
need
not
to
believe
see where that was.
that it was true.
Yeah, I couldn't either.
I was like,
unbelievable.
what? There's no way that this happened in,
in DC.
America.
It was DC.
I know. I was like, I cannot believe that this happened.
Yeah. So, you know, the BLM giant yellow painted, you know, all the murals as they
we
like to
have
call
one.
them.
We have one here in Indy.
You spill some paint on those, you get hauled off to jail because you can't desecrate a Black Lives Matter thing. But you want to write in chalk something that's going to wash away with the first rainstorm. You want to write in chalk. You're going to get arrested for that?
Yeah.
What in the looters and rioters busting windows and stealing crap? That's fine. That's just those are noble protests, you guys.
It's
Writing in chalk. It's gonna send you to jail.
And listen, this is the problem is that we're all just sitting here watching it happen, and nobody's doing anything. Everybody's just like, well, I mean, this is just the way things are, right? We can't say anything because if I say something, I'll be called a bad name. I'll be called a racist. I'll be called all the things. We talk about this all the time on our show. Everybody's so afraid. Everybody's so afraid of being called the things.
Oh my God.
You know? Can't say anything. I'm afraid I'm going to lose my job. I'm going to lose, like, what? People will call me the things. Okay. And what happens? It just gets worse, y'all. It's just so stupid. It's so dumb. Everybody's so afraid. And you're right. There are blatant double standards.
Oh my
But
God.
you can't just sit and let it happen, right? You're going to let it happen, and it's just going to get worse and worse and worse. And then what?
I mean, this is the thing is like I keep hearing silent majority will take care of it at the polls.
Really?
Will it?
Will it?
Because
I don't think it's going to.
I feel like it's always the squeaky wheels who get greased.
Mm-hmm.
We're learning that. We're seeing like this white fragility stuff get swept across the nation because there's like literally 4 people that are screaming about it.
Yeah.
And we're caving to the 4 people. We're caving to
Yeah.
the loud people.
Except Trader Joe's.
Exactly. Trader
Joe's
you
is
can
like
suck
the
it.
one they're like the beacon of hope.
Right?
Trader Joe's is the beacon of hope in all of this madness because they were
And
like
Goya.
and Goya
Foods.
didn't. Yeah, Trader Joe's was like, we're not going to change our names because
Yeah,
you guys
and there
are
was
screaming
worry
at us.
because they were like looking at it like they
Uh-huh.
were going to change their
Yeah.
names of stuff, and then they were thinking about it, and then finally they decided, what? We're not
Trader
going to
Joe's
do that.
was like, you guys can suck it.
So
I mean,
they're
I'm
gonna keep-
paraphrasing.
Yeah, they're going to keep Trader Ming's, Trader Jose's, Arabian Joe, Trader Giotto's, and Trader Joseon, the Japanese brand. They're going to keep all of them because they're fun and they sell.
And they were like, we don't think that it's racist.
It's not. It's not.
Just because like 3 people said it was racist, we're not going to change everything. You guys can like bite
Eat a bowl.
it. Yeah, we're not going to do that. And so they sell, and people get it. There are people out there that understand that this is not racist. It just is what it is. Mm-hmm. And so get over yourselves. And they're going to
need more of that.
Yeah, we do. We need more companies that have actual balls. That's what we need. So good on you, Trader Joe's. If I had one near me, I'd start shopping there. I don't have one near me. I live on the south side of Indy, and I don't have one. You have one.
Well, none of the ones even on my side of town are close.
They're not.
They're just not convenient to go to, so I never go.
I would totally go to one if there was one near me.
They have really good cheese.
Really?
My parents have one that they go to, and so when I have lunch over there, they have really good cheese.
Really? Mm-hmm. Good cheese at Trader Joe's, you guys. Who knew? Who knew about
Try the Cambozola. It's really, really good.
What is that?
It's a blend of Camembert and Gorgonzola cheese, and it's delicious. You should have it. It's really, really good.
Pro tip from the chicks on the cheese.
What else is... We are playing so many voicemails on our regular show
we have
today.
like that whole bottom section is voicemails. You see
this
that?
is a list of all the voicemails
There's
we're playing.
so many voicemails today, you guys.
So many. So if you want to hear those, because some of them are great.
Somebody's shaming us about short shaming?
It's a joke.
Okay.
But listen to WIBC.com from 9 to 11 every weekday, but it's 9 to 11 Eastern Standard Time, Monday through Friday. That's our regular radio show, and we will be playing those voicemails. Rob's super mad about it.
Yeah, he's got so pissed.
He's got to record them all.
He came in all cranky.
He's so mad.
I blame her. Because she's like, here's 15 voicemails you got to pull.
And you have to bleep one of them.
God dang it!
He gets so mad because
So
when
mad.
people cuss in them, then he has to go through and
but just
censor
on
it.
top of that, he's mad he has to do any work in the morning.
He's not.
So
He's
mad.
Very work averse.
He hates work.
Hates
you guys
it.
hates
like
it.
even worse than me.
He just likes attention. He hates all the work.
He likes our platform.
He hates
the
hates
work.
having to do the work to get to the platform.
Right.
Yeah. He wants to be carried to the platform. That's what he wants. And then roses and accolades. That's what he wants. Yeah. All right. Joe Biden is lying again.
I mean, you guys, he won't stop talking about being arrested 3 different times, even though he's never been arrested. He's just such a big fat liar.
Yeah.
So we're going to be giving those examples on the regular radio show today as
He's that guy. What else?
There's a lawsuit, which was interesting, because remember how there's all this controversy, of course, about the hydroxychloroquine. And so this was pretty exciting when I saw that. Where is it?
The FDA said no to hydroxychloroquine.
Yeah, well, the FDA is wrong. They can suck it. So the Association of American Physicians and Surgeons, which is called AAPS, they filed a lawsuit against the FDA to end their interference with their being able to prescribe hydroxychloroquine, like the trio, the cocktail. And that is right, because this is like not a trio that is dangerous or that is any more dangerous than it's ever been over the past 70 years or something that has been in use.
Yeah.
They just don't want it prescribed for COVID, even though there is a lot of anecdotal evidence to support that it works.
I think it's because people go off indication all the time. People will prescribe things off indication a lot, right? And doctors do that quite frequently. I mean, I think they're known to do that, but the FDA is probably like, no. Well, one, I bet a lot of it has to do with the Trump stuff and what we're going through right now, right?
It's totally become political.
I'm sure it's a political thing.
Yeah.
But people will argue and say, well, I mean, the FDA needs to go through a study process, and they need to have a clinical study that'll prove it for this indication, right? To have the cocktail, the trio. And so it needs to go through trials and all this garbage.
So our friend Kira, who may be here, by the way, her dad is a physician, right? And so she told this story on her Facebook page today that there was a couple who were out in California and they started having COVID symptoms. So the doctor called a CVS out in California to get them some hydroxychloroquine. The pharmacist asked what it was for. He said it's to treat COVID or presumed COVID. The pharmacist refused to fill it. And so that is a drug that has been used forever and ever and ever, right? But because her dad was prescribing it for COVID specifically, the pharmacist said no. And I loved her point because she said, where were all of these woke pharmacists when Oxy was flying off the shelves? Pharmacists have no problem. Here's all the Oxy that you can handle, right? But a doctor prescribes HCQ and they're like, oh no, we can't do that. It's dangerous.
Yeah.
I mean, what the hell? So
yeah, it is really interesting how now all of a sudden it's, well, probably like a month ago they would have prescribed it.
Oh yeah.
But now they're like, we can't do that because of the political climate. It's all political.
It's nuts.
Yeah.
It's absolutely nuts how political a drug has become.
Well, it's been FDA approved for other indications. It's not been FDA approved for this indication. That's the difference, you guys. It has to be approved for certain indications. That's how the FDA works. It's not like it's approved for this specific indication, but doctors will prescribe stuff off indication frequently. They do that all the time.
Yeah.
It's just that they're getting to be sticklers right now. I think the FDA is just like, oh my God, we can't do this, and it's because of all this crap. Because we're all stupid right now.
Everybody's
so dumb. I don't know why it's just dumb. Anyway, yeah. I mean, I take it.
I would take it.
I would take it.
Oh my God. I mean,
Yeah.
there's people that have been taking it, like,
Yeah.
from, what is it? Not is it lupus that they take it? No.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
for lupus.
it is for lupus.
It's for lupus,
And they've been taking it safely forever and ever.
Yeah, but I take it if the thing is, I think the point of hydroxy is you have to get it in
Early.
the very, very early. You have to get it in the very initial stages of COVID. Otherwise, I think it's probably worthless. If you got it early,
Yeah.
and you took it, then it's because it's more of like a prophylactic, you know. So, anyways,
It's
that's
almost
how.
like a Theraflu.
Yeah, exactly. That's how I feel about it. If I got it early, I'd take it. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Anyway.
All right. We probably should go.
Yeah, I'm looking to see if there's anything else that's pressing, and I don't think there's anything
I don't
huge.
think there is. Oh, except for that Cardi B is now a bombshell blonde. So I would like to know why that's not culturally appropriating white people. Somebody could get back with me on that.
Yeah,
That'd be great.
she's culturally appropriating you guys.
I mean, she's like platinum blonde now. So
Yeah, well, Beyonce did that too. Remember when she did that?
I guess that's okay.
It's okay for them to culturally appropriate white people. Is that okay?
Apparently so.
Oh, all right, all right. Bring it in, you guys. Bring it in.
Hope you guys had a good weekend.
Yeah, have a great Monday. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye.